starts now.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Riley Livingston. We begin tonight with breaking news out of Itawamba County. A standoff is underway and authorities are on the scene. Our Cash Matlock is there and has more. Cash?
That's right, Riley. We're in Itawamba County here, where we're approaching hour 9 of the possible standoff, possible hostage situation. Now, I'm on Alice Hall Road in Itawamba County, and it's formerly known as Snake Smith Road. Now, here's what we know so far. So far there are 3 people in the house. It's 2 adult males and 1 10-year-old girl. The sheriff with Itawamba County tells me they have made contact with the girl, and she is okay, she is safe. But as far as everything else, we have a lot of personnel here on the scene. A lot of MHP SWAT has surrounded the house. That's really all we know so far, not too many details. I do know they have not entered the house, and it's really unclear as to if one of the males is armed or if both of the males are armed. So right now it's just a lot more questions than answers, but we should be getting those updates to you as soon as they come to us if you stick with us throughout the night. Reporting live in Itawamba County, I'm Cash Matlock, and I'll toss it back to you, Riley, in the studio.
Thanks, Cash. A victim involved in an early morning shooting in Jackson has died. 40-year-old Damian King was taken to a local hospital after suffering multiple gunshot wounds to his upper body shortly after 1 a.m. Saturday morning. Officers believe that shots were fired during an argument in Deer Park Street near Poindexter Street. Police believe they know who shot King, but they will not release his name until his identity is verified and more is known about the incident. The investigation is ongoing. Flooding continues to be a concern in parts of Mississippi. Locally, high water in places has caused minor flooding, including the city of Columbus. Highway 50 in East Columbus has been partially covered in water all day long. The Luxapalila Creek is expected to peak at minor flood stage later on tonight. While our area did experience some flooding, the hardest hit areas are in South Mississippi and West Alabama. Areas from Hattiesburg to Laurel to Meridian still are seeing many road closures tonight. It's now time for a first look at our forecast. Meteorologist Jacob Dickey. When's this weather supposed to clear out?
Riley, unfortunately, we're stuck in a bit of an active pattern here with those showers continuing. It's because of our active plume of moisture. Look at this. All that blue is water vapor coming in from the Pacific that keeps us wet through the next several days. Tonight, still seeing a few leftover showers here along the US 82 corridor, perhaps some sprinkles up towards Tishomingo County. As far as how much rain we've seen, though, some spots have seen 1 inch, if not more, in spots here. Look at this. That green color shows 1 to 2 inches for the most part south of US 82. More rain that we do not need in parts of the area. In fact, we're going to add another inch or 2 onto this when it's all said and done through Tuesday morning. We've got the chance for some strong to severe storms on Monday. And then after this system moves through, another one could bring us some wintry weather. I've got those details coming up in just a bit.
Thanks, Jacob. If you plan on having a few drinks this New Year's Eve, it's a good idea to have a plan in place before getting on the road. The Columbus Police Department, the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office, the Mississippi Highway Patrol, and the Columbus Lowndes Drug Task Force are teaming up for several safety sobriety checkpoints. Columbus Police Chief Fred Shelton says our purpose is simple. Follow the law and don't drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Impaired driving is illegal and unsafe for everyone on the road. Shelton says officers will have zero tolerance for people driving under the influence. Checkpoint locations will not be released ahead of the time, and all 4 agencies are sending extra officers to staff those checkpoints. And speaking of a little bit to drink, business is good, says a package store employee in Columbus. Wines Etc. has been busy since the kickoff of the holiday season. The package store located on Highway 45 North says sales have steadily increased since Thanksgiving and will spike on Monday, New Year's Eve. So what are you buying? Wines Etc. employee Jeff Keefe says you're buying everything.
They wiped us out of champagne, they've wiped us out of vodka, they've wiped us out of bourbon, and we get the truck back in and we stock the shelves, and then they go bare again. I mean, it is very, very busy, and so there's not one particular thing that is a favorite.
A Money Q&A survey says 360 million glasses of sparkling wine are consumed in the U.S. each New Year's Eve. A survey by the National Restaurant Association reports that 100 million people will visit a bar or restaurant on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. And one local restaurant is gearing up for the crowds. Harvey's in Columbus says they'll be ready. They even have special items on the menu for New Year's Eve. It's a New York strip Oscar that's a steak topped with crab meat and holiday sauce. Harvey's assistant manager Max Schooler says that New Year's has always been a great night for business.
It just seems like that's just the one day of the year that everybody just gets out of the house to do things, and we're very busy during the holiday time, especially New Year's Eve, and so we're anticipating a very great crowd this year too.
Schooler adds the restaurant has taken some reservations but are not planning on taking any more. A new furniture factory will soon be opening in Lee County, and now they are on the search for new employees. WCBI's Chad Groening has more.
This weekend, Sutter Street Manufacturing, the manufacturing division of North Carolina-based Williams-Sonoma, held a job fair for furniture professionals. It is the first time the company has opened a factory in North Mississippi, and Human Resources Manager Phil Jackson conducted interviews.
Sutter Street's a great opportunity for experienced furniture manufacturers or training opportunities in the furniture industry. Sutter Street is going to be building business that is coming back from China that's currently being built in China, and those manufacturing jobs are coming into North Mississippi. Being a resident of North Mississippi my entire life, I think that's a great opportunity.
Jackson says Sutter Street will be immediately creating between 60 and 80 new jobs in the area, including sewers who will use these brand new machines that are ready to be installed in the factory. He says eventually the facility in Baldwin will employ 350 people.
One of the big reasons for relocation into North Mississippi is the furniture experience that is in this area and the quality of the furniture manufacturers in this area. The people that we can bring in and work with, we are very excited about that, and we think that is one of the primary reasons for relocating to North Mississippi.
And Jackson says once the plant is up and running early next month, they will be churning out pieces like these.
We are building a high-end, high-quality piece of furniture, and it will be done right on the lines. We'll be building stationary furniture, sofas, love seats, chairs, sectionals for our West Elm brand of furniture for our Williams-Sonoma stores.
Jackson says some support personnel are scheduled to begin on January 7th, and upholstery lines will start January 14th. Chad Groening, WCBI News, Baldwin.
Sutter Street says it hopes to reach 350 employees within the next 5 years. A friendly exchange quickly takes a turn for the worse. More on that after the break. Welcome back. It's day 8 of the partial government shutdown, and the stalemate in Washington persists. The effects of the impasse are growing. Multiple government institutions are running out of money, including the Environmental Protection Agency and the Smithsonian. Thousands of employees are being furloughed. Many will work without pay. Nicole Killian is following all this from the nation's capital.
On day 8 of the partial shutdown, President Trump upped the ante on Democrats, tweeting, "I am in the White House waiting for the Democrats to come on over and make a deal on border security."
Discussions have broken down. We do expect this to go on for a while.
A senior administration official tells CBS News Acting Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney and White House advisor Jared Kushner discussed the shutdown and border security in a Friday night dinner with President Trump and Vice President Pence. The White House is accusing Democratic leaders of calling off talks despite the president's willingness to lower the $5 billion price tag for a border wall.
The president ought to get over this syndrome of his television show, "You're fired, you're shut down."
House Democrats pledged to introduce legislation to reopen the government when they take control January 3rd. But the shutdown signs are becoming more apparent.
There's no rangers and there's no help if something goes wrong.
National parks are struggling to remain accessible. The Smithsonian is preparing to close after the new year if there's no deal.
We did go to the zoo, so I'm grateful that we went in time.
But there is relief for one part of the government. 42,000 active Coast Guardsmen will now receive paychecks along with the rest of the military after senior administration officials say the president personally intervened. The Environmental Protection Agency also began furloughing many of its 14,000 employees. Meantime, discussions between the White House and congressional Democrats are at a standstill, with sources confirming to CBS News that President Trump hasn't spoken with House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi in 18 days. At the White House, Nicole Killian, CBS News.
What one woman thought would be a simple exchange turns into an iPhone robbery. Here's the story.
Okay, yeah, this is the one right here. But yeah, that's what he looked like.
It was supposed to be a simple exchange.
And so he said, well, I can come to you.
Keisha Ralston found a buyer online for her iPhone.
Big Bank Fred.
The man drove to her workplace but didn't pull into the parking lot,
Which should have been a red flag to me in the first place.
The surveillance camera was rolling.
I was handing him the phone, and at the same time he was handing me like a little wad of money.
Immediately, Keisha could tell something was wrong.
I was like, oh my God, no, this is not, this is not real. It was too green to be money. I threw the money back at him and tried to reach for my phone.
But at the same time, Big Bank Fred hit the accelerator.
I wasn't gonna let go. My feet were dragging the ground.
Okay.
I don't know how I did it, like holding myself to the car, you know.
The car was moving too fast for Keisha to safely ungrip.
He finally slowed down a little bit, to where I was able to just let myself go and fall in the street.
Now, with big bruises and sore toes, Keisha has a message for others selling things online.
You have to be really careful, and especially on social media, just really check them out. The police told me that, that they would meet me and that they would watch any type of transactions.
Because she knows what happened to her could have been a lot worse.
He could have had a gun. I really just thank God that, that he kept me from being hurt really bad.
Quick check-in on Saturday night for our 155th stationed overseas. They're having fairly nice weather this week, 60s and 70s as we look ahead. Some showers for them on Monday. We, though, get some rain on Sunday, Monday, and parts of next week. We've got some severe storms to talk about, as well as wintry weather. Stay with us. I've got those details after the break.
Forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
Bit of a soggy weekend night here for us. Temperature is 47 in Vernon, seeing some showers out there, some raindrops on the lens. Many of us have seen some showers throughout the evening hours with those north winds, helping to make it feel a little chilly out there. Cold rain in 47 in Macon, 49 in Aliceville, 45 in Starkville at this time. Those last few showers seem to be lifting on through along the US 82 corridor here towards Starkville, towards the north, towards West Point, even into Columbus and parts of West Alabama. But I think more showers will continue through the overnight hours here, really seeing some more showers off to our south and to our west. A bit of an active pattern here for us that we've seen and will continue to see over the next 24 to 48 hours. As far as tonight, continuing showers and lows into the low 40s, 43 in Columbus and in Amory. Tupelo will drop down to 41. I've got 44 in Vernon. A couple upper 30s up towards the Tennessee border. We stay a little drier and maybe have a little more clearing there, allowing us to cool off. All of us, though, should be heading for the 50s by the lunch hour on Sunday, with some showers possible in the morning. That better chance of rain, though, I think comes Sunday afternoon and evening, particularly for our area. As far as temperatures, we'll get to Sunday afternoon at 56 in Columbus and in Starkville, 55 in Eupora. West Alabama, much the same. I've got 55 in Fayette, 54 in Soldier, Reform at 57, and then into North Mississippi, some low to mid-50s on Sunday afternoon, 54 in Tupelo, 53 in Pontotoc. Water Valley, good evening to you, we'll get up to 54. Oxford, we'll see 52. As we carry forward here, again, just a few isolated showers continuing overnight tonight, staying mostly cloudy, though. Sunday, during the day, some showers still expected, but that heavier rain looks to hold off until Sunday afternoon and evening. That's because of our warm front lifting to the north. Some rumbles of thunder expected with some heavy rain in spots as that front pushes through late Sunday evening into the overnight hours. And by Monday morning, then, we're in the warm sector for things here, still seeing scattered showers on Monday morning. We do have to watch for perhaps a line of thunderstorms to develop, and some of those could be on the stronger side there as they push through, but by 5 or 6 o'clock, we should have it all to the east and be back in more quiet weather. What that warm front does to us, though, is something kind of a little strange here. Look at the temperatures. We are climbing Sunday afternoon through Monday afternoon. Sunday night, our low will be at 7 p.m. We'll be in the 50s, ending up in near 70 by Monday afternoon. Because of that, also have a chance for some strong to severe storms. This is Monday from 7 a.m. till 5 p.m. is that window of opportunity. Level 1 out of 5 could see some gusty winds and perhaps some heavy rain. The tornado threat is looking very low right now, but we won't rule that out completely. As we look forward then after 5 p.m., those storms are off to our east. Some colder air comes in on the backside of that cold front. Looking cloudy but dry on Tuesday for the most part, but by Wednesday, look at this. Some rain is involved there, and you see a little bit of wintry colors trying to mix on in. Bit of an interesting setup for here, mid to late week for us. us. We've got some moisture coming in from the south, and if we can get a cutoff low to form here to our west, some colder air will draw in from the north. Not set in stone yet, though. There's still some disagreement on timing and location, and especially if it can even happen. What is a given is we'll see some heavy rain. Looks like 1, 2, maybe 3 inches of rain for some of us moving forward. As far as the next 7 days, some showers will continue for the next 24 to 48 hours. Some strong storms expected Monday night. Then the ball drops. Look at that there. Things will quiet down into Tuesday. More showers and maybe a little wintry mix into Wednesday and Thursday.
MSU head football coach Joe Moorhead spoke with the media today about his time in the SEC versus his time in the Big Ten. More on that next in sports.
WCBI Sports exclusive coverage of the Outback Bowl live from Tampa is brought to you by OCH Regional Medical Center, Advanced Medicine, Compassionate Care, Bank First, a better way to bank, member FDIC, and visit Columbus, the city that has it all.
The Mississippi State football team continues their preparation for the 2019 Outback Bowl in Tampa, Florida. Our Tom Ebel took on day 3 today and spoke with Coach Moorhead about what he thinks is the biggest difference between the SEC and his time spent in the Big Ten. Tom?
Thank you, Blair. The college football season is slowly ticking down day by day for the Mississippi State Bulldogs, preparing for their New Year's Day matchup against Iowa. The first time the two programs will ever meet on a football field. We were able to get one last look of Mississippi State as they prepare for the Hawkeyes today at Tampa Jesuit High School. No news remaining good news for the Bulldogs, as everyone remaining healthy. The Bulldogs were able to go through some drills, looking calm, looking relaxed, looking loose. Jeffrey Simmons talked the other day about how all of the team is just trying to enjoy their final weeks together, as some guys are off to graduate, some guys are off to the NFL. So Mississippi State just taking it one day at a time, enjoying their last moments in the maroon and white. But head coach Joe Moorhead speaking today in coach's press conference about what it's like being in the SEC compared to the Big Ten. Of course, Moorhead spent 2 seasons at Penn State going up against Kirk Ferentz and the Iowa Hawkeyes. But when talking about the two conferences, taking a step back and reviewing both of them, Moorhead says there's really not that much of a difference.
They're more similar than dissimilar. I know that's for certain. And, you can split hairs and, compare bowl records or compare, like opponents and things like that. And I think when you get in it's called the transitive property. Is that what it's called? When you start, this team beat this team and this team, you can make the argument for just about anything. But I think that the consistent thing that you see is on a weekly basis in both leagues. There are very few off weeks where you could take a breath and kind of gather yourself, and it's literally out of the frying pan and into the fire. You play a team in the western part of our conference, and whether it's crossover in the east or another one in the west, the margin of error is negligible, and you've got to be on top of it every single second.
The competition remaining high for Joe Moorhead, no matter where he is and what football conference he's a part of. The other big news out of today really should come as no surprise. Safety Jonathan Abram announcing today on his Twitter account that he will be entering the NFL draft. That'll make Abrams and Jeffrey Simmons as the two that have announced to this point. Should be expecting also Montez Sweat, as those 3 guys are projected first-round picks come April for the 2019 NFL Draft. The Bulldogs, working hard, earned a trip to Busch Gardens today, getting to spend some time away from football and enjoying some roller coasters. And then tomorrow, Mississippi State will spend the day on beautiful beaches here in Tampa, Florida. A lot of good things to come as Mississippi State continues to prepare for its final football game of 2019 against Iowa. Make sure you stick with WCBI Sports every single day leading up to next Tuesday for the bowl game, as we'll keep you covered on all things Bulldogs here in Tampa as we count down the college football season. Reporting here in Tampa, Tom Ebel for WCBI Sports. Blair, will send it back to you in Columbus.
Thanks, Tom. Coming up next, New Hope hosted their annual Trojan Holiday Classic today. Who got the win? You'll find out next in sports. While football season is wrapping up, basketball season is here. And there were plenty of teams in action today as New Hope hosted their annual Trojan Holiday Classic. Starting things off, Starkville girls taking on Jackson Academy. Jaleesa Outlaw gets things going with a nice shot from the corner to make it 4-0 Yellow Jackets. Jackson back on offense. Idalis fell with the steal, gets the ball to Outlaw, and she does the rest. She'll take it to the rim for 2 more. Outlaw, dangerous all game long, out in transition, pulls up for 2, extends the lead 8-0. Second quarter, Outlaw back at it again, gets it to go with an and-one opportunity. She will take back the lead, and Outlaw will be too much for Jackson Academy to handle as she helps the Yellow Jackets get the win 46-37. Starkville boys also played in the Classic. They took on Amanda Elsie. Third quarter, Jackets out in transition, and Tavius Jones with the easy lay-in for 2. In Starkville this time with the steal, Jones behind the back pass and back to Jones again for the score. And later on, Amanda Elsie, they'll be looking for some points, but nope, a block by Jones gets the ball back to the Jackets. Young, he'll get the ball, he'll bring it up the court, and later fight off against some pressure, try and set something up, but quickly finds a wide open Jones inside for 2 more. Jackets leading 61-19. Fourth quarter, Young gives it to Fort Prater, gets it to go, and almost knocks the camera girl over. But moving on, Prater looking inside to Lance Tracher for an easy bucket, and Starkville dominates Amanda Elsie with an 81-30 final. The number 19 Mississippi State men's basketball team took on BYU at home earlier today, and MSU seniors stole the show. Leading the way for the Bulldogs was Eric Holman, who had a career night with 28 points, 19 of which were scored during the second half after knocking down a trio of three-pointers. And not far behind him, dialing up points, was Q Weatherspoon, who scored a season-best 27 points. This moved him up to 8th place on MSU's all-time scoring list, as Weatherspoon has over 1,600 career points. That's all for Sports at 10. We'll be back in a second for your last look at your forecast.
A lucky winner could kick off the new year with a bang by putting millions of dollars in his or her pocket. No one won the jackpot in a Mega Millions lottery drawing Friday night. So the big prize for the next drawing on New Year's Day has soared to a whopping $415 million. A cash option stands at about $249 million. The lottery hasn't had a big winner since its $1.5 billion jackpot in October. The odds of hitting the jackpot are less than 1 in 300 million. But the lottery says it has already happened on New Year's Day once, back in January 1st, 2008.
I'll tell you what, if I win the lottery, I'll buy the weekend out and we'll all... I won't say it on there. How about that? Hey, look at this. The ball's going to drop Monday night. I think the weather clears out before we get through there. But still, still some strong storms. Wednesday and Thursday also could see some showers. We'll have to watch out for, see if a little wintry mix can't mix in. We're going to keep our eyes on that for the next couple of days.
We'll definitely be following that as this weather forecast comes by. Everyone have a great day.